What's up, y'all? It's TruthTiger, and I'm going to talk about the world today. And the world is terrified of good people. And the thing is, when I say a good person, I'm not saying I'm up on the mountain, I'm this good, great person. Only God is good. I just mean people who try to love their fellow, try to have some moral standard, and try to seek something that is higher than the way of the world. The way of the world is not about goodness. The way of the world is about greed, getting as much money as you can, stepping on people's neck to get ahead, playing the victim and trying to get someone in trouble. The way of the world is not really about good things. The way of the world is about false religion. The way of the world is about a system of false morality that's not really about loving your fellow, but about these laws that when you really look at them, most of them are arbitrary. There's a lot of people in power who wield power in a way that's not really fair. There's a lot of corruption. A lot of corruption in this world when you really look at what is going on. And the thing is, if you're a good person, you are at war with that evil and that corruption. That evil and that corruption is not your friend. You're in battle with it. And the thing is it knows that. And it's not just it, but it's a bunch of people who decide to enable this. And unfortunately, the majority of people decide to enable this evil world. I would say the prime agents, I guess, would be narcissists, sociopaths, psychopaths. Those would probably be the prime agents of this matrix, of this messed up world. But really, like your average everyday people, even people who are not necessarily narcissists, they're very egotistical, they're not mature, they do not have really a moral standard at all. And even if they're not narcissistic, they have like narcissistic tendencies. They're like egotistical, they're manipulative. And when you come with truth and you're not spinning some spider's web of manipulation, you're not coming with fakeness, you're not coming with games, you're genuine, you are who you say you are, you stand up for the right thing, you stand up to bullies, you try to look out for people, and you're on the side of goodness, you're on the side of morals and ethics, they feel threatened. They feel very threatened. And one of the first things they'll try to do is reject you. They don't want you coming in, figuring out who they really are. Because a big part of being a good person is you see through the games. You see through the false pretensions. People put on these masks to try to make themselves look like they're good people. The world does too. The world puts on a big mask to try to make itself look good. As a truly good person, you start to stop doing that. You start to realize, like, I'm not actually a perfect person. I have flaws, I have issues, and I'm honest about that. I don't put this mask to project myself as a good person. That's what the world does. And, that mask, which they rely upon, becomes very threatened when they're around a good person. I should say a solid person, a genuine person. When they're around that, their mask and their fakeness becomes threatened. And they realize you're going to see through their false morality, their fake niceness, all that fake stuff. You're going to see through, and you're going to see who they really are. And they don't want that. That scares them. They want the sweet illusion to be kept up. It's a sweet little lie, and they live by it. But as someone who's a good person, we're honest. We live lives of truth. We don't need to deal with these deceptions. We don't need to deal with their delusions of goodness. Their fake goodness. We don't need to deal with that. And man, they do not want to be seen for who they really are. They don't. It terrifies them. It scares them. So one of the first things they'll do is they'll reject us. They'll be cold to us. They'll give us the cold shoulder. And a lot of times they'll do this as a group. They will do this as a group. And you will feel like you're in a room with these people. All 5 of them go off into a corner by themselves and leave you by yourself. And you're like, what the heck? So they will isolate you because they do not want you catching on to the scam. They don't want you to be catching on to the scheme. These people are fake, and they don't want you catching on to it. They don't want you catching on to them, who they really are, because you see through it all, and that's scary for them. It's scary for them that you see through the games. You see through the manipulation. And it is a scary, scary thing for them. And it freaks them out. It does. Yeah, the paradigm that they're used to working on is one where everyone is gaslighting everyone is blowing smoke up everybody's butts. They live based upon that paradigm. And when you come along, they don't even know how to act anymore. They don't even know how to be. They're just like, I'm terrified of this decent person. I'm terrified of this solid person. And I've got to find a way to destroy them. I've got to find a way to trip them up. I've got to find a way to gaslight them and be really manipulative and weird to them. I've got to find a way to get rid of them. But they kind of don't really totally want to get rid of us. Sometimes they do, but they know they kind of need us. They know that there needs to be some goodness, some moral, some love, some truth. They know that that's needed. So they kind of, I don't know, they want to like kind of trap us almost. Trap us in a bad position underneath them to where we cannot leave. And they can, they can drain our energy. That's what they try to do for the most part. They want to try to gaslight us, make us feel like we're the bad guy, make us feel like we're this big problem, we're this big issue. It's what they want to do. And they'll do it as a group to try to make us feel bad about ourselves, so then they can drain our energy. And I'm telling you, don't do it. Don't be about it. Know who you are. These people are fake. They're dishonest. They're not true. They are not the real deal, and you are. So don't deal with this crap. And they're doing it because they are intimidated. They are. And I'm telling you, like, I've had certain people, if I come in the room, they'll leave the room because they can't face me. And a lot of them also, they've done wrong to us. They have done us dirty. They have been disrespectful. They have slammed the door and rejected us in a very rude way. And they know that we know. And when they know that we know, they know the jig is up. They know the scam is up. They know the game is up. And it's like, it's a scary thing for them. I gotta scratch my nose here. I'm sorry, y'all. Alright, I should be good now. But they know the game is up. It's like, you've caught onto their scam. You've caught onto their scheme. And they don't want that. They're going to be freaked out. And what a lot of these people will do, because they're actually scared, they'll have a big bluff. They'll act really angry. They'll blow up on you. But really, they're doing so because they feel threatened. And they feel terrified. And they feel intimidated. But they don't want to show that. So they're going to bluff and act very angry. And if you could just stay calm, you'll see how it really is. You will. They're also scared that we will reject them. They're not mature people. They're not emotionally mature people. And they cannot handle rejection very well. They can't deal with it. They have very low self-esteem. They have very low self-worth. And if they get rejected, it's going to cause them to fall down into a spiral. It's going to mess with them mentally. They're not going to be able to handle it. And they kind of know that we're people with a standard. We're people who are not just going to be okay with anything. We're people, we have a standard. And they know that there's a chance that we will reject them. And after playing all the weird games, we are going to reject them. I'm not going to accept that. I'm not going to accept someone who plays weird games. Not at all. I deserve better than that. That's negativity. That's not what I need. And I'm not going to do it. Period. I'm not. And the thing is, they kind of know that. And they can't deal with the rejection. So as a preemptive strike, they're going to reject us first, attack us first, turn against us first, because they already feel rejected by us, and they already know that they're not worthy of us. They already know that they are not worthy of our attention, they are not worthy of our time, they are not worthy of our friendship, they are not worthy of dating us, whatever it is, they're not worthy of it. And they know that they're going to be rejected by us. And I've literally had people do this stuff to me, and I walk away and I'm like, well, you treated me like trash, so bye. And then they're all stalking around me, trying to keep tabs on me. And I can tell by how they're moving that the fact that I walked away from them messed them up bad. They caught a cold. Bad. They did. And it's like, hey, you rejected me first in a rude way. I was just like, yeah, whatever, I don't need this crap. I don't. And that's another thing about good people, is there's an independence that comes with being a good person. There's a strength, self-esteem, all those kind of things come with being a good person. If you don't have strength, you'll fall down for anything. You won't stand up to evil. Having strength is part of being a good person. If you don't have self-esteem and you hate yourself, you're going to project that hatred onto others. You're not going to build good things for yourself or for those around you if you have low self-esteem. You're not going to, want to be around good people or good situations or positivity if you have low self-esteem. If you have low self-esteem. If you have high self-esteem, you're going to want good things, positivity, growth, whatever. You're going to want the good stuff. You're going to want to be around good people. But having low self-esteem, you're going to kind of like want negativity, if that makes sense. And again, these people do not have strength or self-esteem or anything like that. And they see that we do. And again, it's like they know that we can walk away. They know that we stand on our own 2 feet. They know that we don't need them for validation. They know that. And they know that it's like they don't have control over us. Because that's what that stuff gives them. It gives them control. And that's why a lot of bad people and why the world needs control. Why does it need control? Because it's scared that, people will walk away without that. Really. I got a left turn here. I'm going to take care of this, but that is the game. I got an arrow, but that is the game. Like, they can't control us. And when they can't control someone, they know that that person can reject them, that person can leave, that person can call them out on their BS. And that's a terrifying thing. Really, for this whole world, if you're someone who can't be controlled, that's what they live by. If you're someone who's truly free, brother, that terrifies them. That freaks them out. They're like, this person's their own person. They're not going to be controlled. They can just walk away. They have their own self-esteem and don't need people's validation. Those are their key weapons. Those are the key weapons that they have. And their key weapons will not work on you. They won't. And that's a terrifying thing for them. That really is. And when they know that also, they know that you're on a higher level than them. Oh, this truck's cutting in. They know that you're not going to be, down on their level. And when they're on the low level, the plane of jealousy, the plane of toxicity, the plane of trying to make everyone stay stuck, the plane of not wanting to see anyone do better than them, the plane of just, the same drama over and over again. When they're down on that low level and they see that you're above that, they realize that, okay, you're not in their playground anymore. I've been down on that playground. It's not fun. It's not where you want to be. But when you're not down on the devil's playground like that, brother, they know that it's like, all right, they can't even get at you because you're not going to stoop down to that stuff. You're not going to stoop down to the petty games. And it's like, uh-oh, he's up there. we're trying to throw our little arrows at him. We can't even hit him because he's bigger than us. And that's the thing, like, you're bigger than these people. By having morals, by having ethics, by having a decent relationship with God, whatever it is, by loving your fellow, by having that, it makes you way bigger than them. It makes you bigger and stronger than them. And they know that. They're scared of anything that's bigger and stronger than them. It freaks them out. They don't want anything to be because they see everything as a threat. They do. They don't really see your love and kindness for the good that it is. They just see it as a threat to their ego, a threat to their way of life, a threat to who they are. They don't want to have to start to be good people themselves either. They don't want to change anything but that. That's not what they want to do. They want to stay the same. They want to stay stuck. They want to stay low. They want to stay negative. And you're not about that. You're not going to enable that. You're bigger than that. You're way bigger than that. And they see you like bigger than, they're like these little insects, and you're big. They're like, oh my God, he's big. That's scary. He's big. He could just crush us. Oh my God, we're terrified. They are. And that's kind of what it is. Especially with very toxic people. That is what that is. And the only thing they can really do is drag you into arguments and cause drama to try to make you as small as they are. All they can really do in the end of the day, really. And yeah, it's like, if you're wondering why you're facing all this rejection, if you're wondering why, like, you know, it's hard to fit in with these people, it's because you're bigger than them. You're much bigger than them. And they're threatened. They're intimidated by you. They are. I think it says in the book of Proverbs that the wicked flee without being pursued. And it's the truth. These people have a very guilty conscience. They do. And you can have a guilty conscience from being gaslit and stuff like that. I'm not saying that, but they have a guilty conscience because they know that they're not treating others around them right. They know that they're not loving their fellow. They know that they're not projecting positivity or love. They know that, and it makes them in this very low, anxious, scared state. And they're threatened and intimidated very easily. And like things that are good and successful and things that are truthful and loving and kind scare the crap out of them. Because that's their natural enemy. They're on the side of evil. Good's their natural enemy. So good comes around. It terrifies them. And just evil is very anxious. Evil is very squirrely. Evil is just kind of all scared like that. So they get freaked out easily in general. And when you come shining the light, the freaking cockroaches run and scatter. It's the truth. So yeah, I'm going to end this video here. Thank you all so much for watching. The world is scared of you, scared of your light, scared of your goodness, but don't be scared of them. Be brave, move forward, be big, rock with God. And yeah, much love. God bless.